Hello, so I chose the Qinghai province for my presentation. The geography in Qinghai, the Qinghai Hu Lake, which is translated as the Blue Lake, is located in the northeastern part of the province known as Coco Nor. It is the largest lake in China and it is a huge tourist destination for those people that do go to visit Qinghai. Um, Mountains and plateaus. In the north, there is the Elton and Chilean mountain ranges, and in the south, the Bayan Har Mountains and the Tangula Mountains are there. The Yellow River and Yangtze River run through Qinghai. Between the mountains, it is very hilly. There are broad valleys and flat land. There are many fertile spots in the north, and it is very swampy in the south. The Qinghai Tibet Plateau is located here, and it is the largest plateau in China. On the left is a picture of where Qinghai is located, and then on the right is a picture of the Qinghai Lake. In the top left is a picture of the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau, and then below that is a picture of the Tangula Mountains, and then on the right is the Yellow River. So it is very scenic there. The climate in Qinghai consists of very short and warm summers, super long and cold winters, and very little rainfall. They get less than 4 inches of precipitation per year, so less than 100 millimeters. And then on the right here is a picture or a graph of the average precipitation in Qinghai. This is for Xining, so the capital of Qinghai. And then as you can see, they get their most rainfall in the summer. Earthquakes are very common in Qinghai because it is located in an area of crustal deformation. Qinghai also gets very strong winds due to the Mongolian Plateau, which brings over blankets of sand. And then the climate is very much so influenced by the sea and the mountains located in Qinghai or around Qinghai. Culinary facts. There are lots of barley and yak-based ingredients used in dishes in Qinghai because it can those ingredients can sustain cold and high altitude. They use a lot of yak meat and yak milk in their dishes. Some of the flavors that are in their dishes are mellow, sweet, spicy, and tender, which come from influences of the north, south, and Sichuan. The mellow flavor comes from the north, sweet comes from the south, and then Sichuan brings the spiciness. Some of their most popular dishes there are Hui-style dumplings, grabbing mutton, blood sausage, and flag flour noodles. On the left, or the top left picture, those are a picture of the Hui-style dumplings, and then to the right is a picture of grabbing mutton, and the bottom left is the flag flour noodles, and then the bottom right is a picture of the blood sausage. Cultural influences. They're strongly influenced by traditional culture of ethnic groups. They have lots of different ethnic groups that make up their population. Some of the more common ones would be the Tibetans, Mongols, Hui, Salar, and Tu. An example of traditional culture that is followed would be that one son from every family was expected to enter a lamasery, which this once at one time limited population growth. And then since there are so many different ethnic groups, I chose two of the more populated ethnic groups to point out a couple different cultural factors. So for Tibetan culture, they drink butter tea a lot. It is given as a gift. It shows respect and is part of their daily lives, so they drink it pretty much daily. And then the Tibetan opera is very popular in the Tibetan culture. It is the more popular one is the Blue Mask Opera, which is performed during festivals and celebrations to sing, dance, and is used for storytelling a lot of times too. Prayer flags are flown. That is said to be a link between God and man and is believed to carry prayers by the wind. And then for the Hui culture, it is influenced by Islamic religion, and they also have an extremely strict diet. They can't consume pig, dog, horse, donkey, mule, birds, beasts of prey, blood of an animal, or alcohol. And they also celebrate many festivals. Some of the more popular festivals that they celebrate are the Qinghai Festival, the Corbin Festival, and the Almsgiving Festival. So here on the left is a picture of a mask that would be worn in the Tibetan Blue Mask Opera, and then on the right is what the Qinghai Festival could look like. History. So the Di and Chang were the first ethnic groups to live on the land, and the development of Qinghai can be dated back to 6,000 years ago. During the Xia dynasty from 2070 to 1600 BC, and the Shang dynasty from 1600 to 1046 BC, the Di people settled and they introduced farming to eastern Qinghai. In 121 BC, the royal government established a fortress. And then in the 4th century, the Tu Han people set up their own kingdom in Qinghai. And then that was controlled by the Sui dynasty from 581 to 618. In the 7th century, King Songtsen Gampo united the Tibetan Plateau and set up the Tubo dynasty, and then they took control of all the tribes in Qinghai. History continued. During the Song dynasty from 960 to 1279, many cities were developed in Qinghai. Some of these cities would be Linggu, Zanwei, Zongyi, and Maochun. The Shanzhou prefecture changed its name to the Zaineng, which is the capital. This was also the beginning of exchange of horses and tea with the Central Plains. During the 13th century, the Mongolians entered Qinghai, and Kublai Khan took the throne in the Yuan dynasty from 1279 to 1368. And then the government took control of the Tubo tribes in Xinjiang during that time too. And then in the beginning of the 16th century, during the Qing dynasty from 1644 to 1911, the Hishuo tribe moved to Qinghai, and then during 1912, Ma Qi was appointed as highest military commander of Xining, and then the warlords controlled Qinghai for almost 40 years. During 1929, Qinghai province was formally founded, and then during 1949, the warlords' rule was overthrown, and then the new democratic government was set up, which goes until today. On the left here is Ma Qi, who is the one that was appointed as the highest military commander in 1912. And then on the right here is a picture of the capital, Xining. And then here are my citation. Thank you everybody for watching.